Welcome back to Casual Bias Rugby, round 17 URC prediction time. First and foremost, thank you to everyone that's shown love and support to the channel. I appreciate each and every one of you guys showing support to the other creators on the channel as well. We're dropping 3 videos tonight, which is absolutely crazy, covering MLR, Super Rugby and the URC. But this is the URC video, round 17. Round 16 was an absolute belter. We thought the table would open up a bit more, which it did, but still there's so many massive games this weekend. I think all the big teams that are still in contention plays each other this weekend. So after this weekend, we'll probably have an idea of who's going to be in the playoffs. We won't have an idea of the positioning because it's still too close, but we might have a better idea of who's going to be the top 8. So absolutely massive. Not going to waste any of your time. Let's get into it. Starting off Friday night, massive game. Absolute belter. We've got Edinburgh versus Munster. Now, obviously, Munster sitting in 3rd position. If I'm not mistaken, I think they've qualified already. Edinburgh, all to play for Edinburgh as well at home. Massive victory for them last weekend over Zebra. Was it the most confident victory? Probably not. The second half performance, they'll take a lot of confidence from that. But the first half performance was pretty shaky, to be fair. I didn't watch too much of the game because it obviously was on the same time as the Stormers game. Stormers fan. But they moved up, I think, from 9th position into 7th position. But that doesn't give them any security whatsoever, really. Playing at home, big advantage for Edinburgh. But Munster have been so clinical. And I want to give you guys a question. And you can let me know what you think about it. At the moment, I wouldn't say Munster is better than Leinster. But I feel like if they were to play, it would be an absolutely scintillating game. And it wouldn't catch me off guard or catch me by surprise if Munster actually got away with the victory. Just with the way that they're playing, they're so clinical. They are so mature in their rugby. It almost feels like they're playing some test match rugby. That's the best way to put it. Or international rugby. That's just how good they've been. Now, obviously, Leinster's got the stronger team. They are higher on the table and stuff. But I feel like you have to put respect on this Munster team. I kind of wrote them off when it came to, I think, just before the middle of the season because they didn't look too good. But the form they've been on and the run they've been on has been absolutely scintillating. I mean, the 2 performances they put together in South Africa was absolutely crazy. Edinburgh know this is a must-win game for them. If they were to lose this weekend and Benetton got a victory and Connacht got a victory and the Lions got a victory, which is all, I wouldn't say likely, but all possible to happen, then all of a sudden they are back outside the top 8, which this is a massive game for Edinburgh, and Munster obviously looking to secure a home playoff game. So this game, they won't go easy on Edinburgh. I'm going with this game to be an 8 points victory for Munster. I just think the way that they've been playing, they really put Connacht to the sword last weekend, a convincing performance. In the first half, it might have still been a bit closer than most of us would have predicted. It was either going to be a close game because it's a derby and form goes out of the window, or Munster was going to smash them. And in the end, Munster did smash them. So I'm going with the Munster victory here by about 8 points. But you can never write off Edinburgh, especially not at home. They know what to play for. They've been in the playoffs before. But Munster, they've just been too mature and too clinical in their performances leading up to this match. They know it's the final one that actually matters now. And then next weekend, obviously, they can take a weekend off. Were they even playing, or not next weekend, the last round? They are playing Ulster, which is a derby. They want to secure their playoff spots and their own playoff games in this weekend. So I'm going with Munster to get the victory on this one. Next up, we've got Zebra versus Scarlets, one of those dead games. Doesn't really matter. I'm going with the upset victory. It's been played in Parma. I know most likely Scarlets are the favourites, but they're only 2 points above Zebra. And I would like Zebra to get another victory. They got a victory over the Sharks, and we thought they're going to kick on. They didn't. But hopefully they can get a victory here and finally just show some form that they showed at the start of the season. I know they didn't necessarily win the games, but they looked like a much better team at the start of the season. So I'm going with Zebra to get a 4-point victory over Scarlets. Tight game. But I just want them to win. I'm going more with my heart than my head on this one. Then you got the Bulls versus Benetton. Absolutely massive game. Massive game. Both teams. Bulls want to secure their own playoff games as well. And then Benetton, obviously on 48 points, got a massive victory over the Sharks, scraped over the line, but I mean, a comeback performance, that will give them some confidence, but it's played at Loftus. I don't see Benetton beating the Bulls at Loftus. Bulls nearly threw it away. The best way to describe it, as I've previously said, it was literally, they forgot who they're playing. They forgot they played Glasgow's at the top of the table. They know how to win. They won't give up. They've got a lot to play for, Glasgow. So the Bulls, they wouldn't take too much confidence from that second half performance, the way that they nearly butchered. I think it was about a 30-point lead, maybe a bit less than that. So I'm going with the Bulls to get the victory, and I think they'll secure it with a decent victory. I'm going with the Bulls to win this game by 15 points. Moving on, we've got Ospreys versus Dragons. Once again, a bit of a dead game. Ospreys kind of still in the running, but I mean, yeah, not really in the running. So I'm going Ospreys to win this game. Obviously, this is a derby. Dragons, phenomenal first half performance against the Stormers, and then completely fell off the radar in the last 20 minutes. So that might give them a bit of confidence going into this game. But I'm going to go with the Ospreys to get the victory. Ospreys by 6 points. I think that's a fair decision to probably make. The Lions versus Glasgow. The Lions is that one team from South Africa that, like, obviously they have a lot of supporters, but most people probably support the Stormers, the Bulls, and the Sharks, right? But everyone loves the Lions. Like, that one team that is generally loved throughout South Africa, the way that they play. Not the biggest team. So I'm going with... I'm not going to go with the Lions victory. I know I just said I want them to win, but Glasgow, just the way that they played against the Bulls in that second half, they know what's at stake. They want to get that home playoff games. Well, they do have the home playoff games, but they want to secure that top spot, right? So that if they were to go on to the semi-finals and the final, they have the home ground advantage as well, which is absolutely massive for a team like Glasgow. Franco Smith has been doing a... Is it Franco Smith? I think it's Franco Smith has been doing an absolutely sensational job with them. So I'm going with them to keep up the good work and get a victory over the Lions. Not by much. I think this is a close game. The Lions obviously at home at Emirates Airline Park. Glasgow by 7 points. It feels like we've got a lot of tight games this weekend. Then we're going on to my team. And as you know, the channel's name is CasualBiasRugby. You always back your team. So Connacht versus Stormers. Stormers renowned for travelling like absolute dog shit wanks. And it actually got proved against the Dragons. The way that we played against the Dragons in that first half, we should have never got over the line there. Somehow we did it. I don't know how. The second half of the last 20 minutes was a lot better, but you can't go and play like that against the likes of a Connacht. If you play for 60 minutes the way that we played against the Dragons, we will get smothered, we will get stomped. I didn't take a lot of confidence from that game. I was so angry watching that Dragons game, but hopefully we can kick on and we know we have to perform. We know this is must-win games for us. We want to secure our spots. We've been in the final 2 times in a row now. The two seasons we've played, we've been in the final twice. We know we have to. We do have a bit of a big match temperament. So Stormers to get it done, not by much. I'm going Stormers by 4 points, just because I know we don't travel that well. Obviously, this video is filmed without seeing any squads, any lineups, and this is not a disrespectful one towards Connacht. Most people would probably say the way that we travel, Connacht are the victors, but I'm backing my team. Okay, Connacht got smashed by Munster, so hopefully they get smashed again this weekend. Then we got the Sharks versus Cardiff. The Sharks most likely going to play a rotated team, and I think that's the reason they'll lose this game against Cardiff. Cardiff will want to have that bounce back victory a bounce back victory after the loss against the Lions. It wasn't a good performance. The Lions totally smothered them, outplayed them off the field, to be fair. They don't usually lose by much, but they lost by a lot against the Lions. So they'll want to bounce back. Sharks not going to play their strongest team, and they lost to Benetton as well with their strongest team. Not a convincing performance whatsoever. Every time that the Sharks have rotated, they've not got the victories. It's just been a horror season for them in the URC. So Cardiff to get the victory over here. And then finally, we've got Ulster versus Leinster. And once again, we say it is Form goes out of the window when it's a derby. We don't know the squad that Leinster's gonna choose. If they go kind of full strength, they will smash Ulster. Ulster has not filled me with any confidence this season. Ulster are playing at home. They did get a big victory over Benetton, and let me just get the facts. They did get a good victory over Scarlets by 11 points, and then who did they play the weekend before that? And then got a close call victory over Cardiff as well at home. I'm going with Leinster to get the victory. Pretty easy work. If they go pretty full strength, I'm going with Leinster by 21 points. And that brings us to the end of round 17. And after this, we'll probably most likely see how it will all line up, unless we have a couple of upsets. I mean, if you want to call a couple of upsets to really make it tight, Edinburgh to beat Munster would be a massive one. Benetton to beat the Bulls. If Lions can somehow beat Glasgow and Connacht beat the Stormers, and then obviously somehow Ulster get one over Leinster, which they did at the start of the season, to be fair, all of a sudden it's all to play for once again in the final weekend. And then I'm shitting it as a Stormers fan because we have to play the Lions at Emirates Airline Park, which is crazy to think about. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know what your predictions are in the comment section. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you always for joining. See you next time. Thank you.